During World War II, long before the CIA was officially formed, a project called Bat Bombs was developed under military supervision. This idea involved strapping tiny incendiary devices to bats and releasing them over enemy cities. The bats, seeking shelter in buildings, would inadvertently ignite fires. The concept was creative but chaotic. In one test, the bats were accidentally released on a US military base, causing a series of unintended fires. While the project never saw active use, it demonstrated the early fascination with using animals in warfare. Though the CIA didn't pick up on this specific idea, it laid the groundwork for their later animal experiments. Let's start with pigeons. Historically, pigeons have always been reliable messengers. Their homing ability made them invaluable during World Wars I and II. But the CIA wanted to push this relationship further. Why stop at delivering messages when you could make a pigeon a spy? Enter Project Takana in the 1970s, the CIA's attempt to use pigeons for aerial reconnaissance. The idea was simple yet ingenious. Attach tiny cameras to pigeons and release them over enemy installations. As the pigeons flew, the cameras would take high-resolution photos, capturing details human spies couldn't reach. One notable success involved pigeons flying over sensitive Soviet installations and snapping images. These birds were quiet, unassuming, and perfect for the job. But pigeons, like all animals, are unpredictable. If they strayed off course or into enemy hands, the jig was up. One pigeon, loaded with a camera, reportedly landed far from its intended target, causing quite a stir among the Soviets. They were baffled by this winged intruder carrying a miniature spy kit. Still, pigeons were one of the more practical animal spies. Their success paved the way for modern aerial surveillance and even inspired early drone technology. Next up, the aquatic recruits. Dolphins are intelligent, highly trainable, and excellent swimmers, which made them prime candidates for underwater espionage. During the 1960s, the CIA and the US Navy launched Project OXYGAS, aiming to use dolphins for mine detection, ship surveillance, and underwater reconnaissance. Dolphins excelled at locating underwater mines and retrieving objects from the ocean floor. Their natural sonar abilities were unparalleled, making them ideal for navigating murky waters where human divers struggled. The CIA also explored more controversial ideas, such as training dolphins to deliver explosives to enemy ships or injecting lethal substances. While there's no solid evidence these ideas were fully implemented, their consideration shows the extent of Cold War desperation. Ultimately, dolphins were most successful in non-lethal missions, and they played a key role in the Navy's underwater operations. The legacy of dolphin espionage lives on today, with modern militaries continuing to train marine mammals for non-combat roles. The dolphin story is a testament to their intelligence, but also a reminder of the ethical dilemmas posed by using animals for military purposes. And now, the star of the CIA's animal antics, cats, meet Operation Acoustic Kitty, arguably the most infamous and disastrous animal espionage project in CIA history. The plan was ambitious: transform a cat into a listening device. In the 1960s, the CIA surgically implanted microphones and transmitters into a cat. The idea was that the cat, being a common sight in urban areas, could discreetly eavesdrop on conversations. Unfortunately, the CIA underestimated one critical factor. Cats are independent creatures. The first test run of Acoustic Kitty involved releasing the cat near a Soviet compound to record conversations. Instead of strolling up to its target, the cat ran into the street and was tragically hit by a taxi. The project was scrapped after this disastrous debut. Acoustic Kitty cost an estimated $20 million, making it one of the CIA's most expensive and embarrassing failures. Despite its flop, the project is now legendary as an example of the outlandish lengths Cold War operatives would go to for an edge. If cats seemed like a stretch, wait until you hear about the CIA's experiments with insects. In the 1970s, the agency developed the Insectothopter, a robotic dragonfly. This tiny machine was one of the first drones ever created, designed to carry a small listening device. The Insectothopter was powered by a miniature fuel engine and could fly short distances. However, it had a glaring flaw. It was highly susceptible to wind. A gust could send it spiraling off course, and its battery life was dismal. Despite these issues, the Insectothopter was groundbreaking. It proved that micro-drones were possible and laid the foundation for the sophisticated technology we use today. Now here's where it gets really wild. The CIA didn't stop at mechanical bugs. They also flirted with the idea of using real insects as biological weapons or surveillance tools. Yes, mosquitoes, fleas, and other creepy crawlies were on the table. One idea was to use insects to spread bioweapons, essentially creating an army of tiny, disease-carrying spies. Thankfully, this concept never got off the ground, or at least there's no record of it happening. Maybe someone realized how hard it is to train a mosquito to follow orders. Rumors abound that squirrels were also considered for espionage. The logic was that squirrels, often found in parks and urban areas, could carry small cameras or transmitters without drawing attention. While details about actual squirrel projects are scarce, the concept is consistent with the CIA's broader animal experimentation. Squirrels' natural agility and ability to climb made them potential candidates for urban surveillance. However, like pigeons and cats, they were likely too unpredictable to be effective spies. Still, the very idea of squirrel spies adds to the quirky legacy of the CIA's animal operations. Dogs didn't miss out on the CIA's creativity during wartime. While they're mostly known for military work like sniffing out bombs and rescuing people, there were also whispers of more secretive missions. Dogs were trained to carry messages and supplies behind enemy lines. Pretty impressive when you think about it. The CIA even looked into using them for reconnaissance, relying on their sharp senses and ability to follow commands. One idea involved teaching dogs to deliver small payloads like tools or equipment during covert missions. They were loyal and easy to train, but their size and visibility made them a bit too obvious for stealthy work. Let's face it, a dog wandering through enemy territory wasn't exactly inconspicuous. Even though their espionage days didn't really take off, dogs have remained a key part of military and law enforcement teams around the world. From finding explosives to saving lives, they've proved time and again that they're more than just good boys, they're heroes. Happy New Year, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys again.